Yes, in today's class, let us discuss about the Raspberry Pi. So here I am going to use the Raspberry Pi introduction, then the board explanation, the hardware which is going to be presented, and then we are going to have some how to install the operating system and some of the commands of the Raspberry Pi and some programming languages on Python and Python. So let us see how the trade is going to get proceeded. Here you are going to see in this board the video of how the connections are going to be made for the Raspberry Pi board. So you are going to see this, all these things. HDMI cable is there. So many cables that will be going to go audio, video. All the cables are going to get connected. Even there is a green LED that it is going to be coming, and all these things are going to be done in the next session. So here you are going to see that the board is going to be here. So which is the ARM processor is there, CPU or GPU you can say. Then this board is configured with that BCM22835 system. Okay, that is a onboard system to the SoC. That is a system on chip. So that's made up, and the ARM processor is going to be CPU, and some video core 4 graphics processing unit is there. This is GPU. So this handles all the components, computations that makes the computer work. That is like taking the inputs, doing some calculations, and producing the output. So it is as good as it is a computer only. It's a farm computer you can say. And the GPU handles the graphics outputs. So there is another component that is GPIO. So these are the exposed general purpose IO connections, which it will allow the real hardware hobbies the opportunity for the thinker. So any project that you want to do it, so this particular connection is going to help you out for the bigger projects. The RCA is there. This is a jack. The connection jack is there, allows it unlock to give the connections and other similar output devices that is going to be used. Then this audio output is there. Is a standard of 3.55mm jack for the connection of audio and audio output, such as headphones or speakers that you can use it. They are on the audio in. Then there are some LEDs are there. The two LEDs I showed you at the time. There are one green and red LEDs. Light emitting diodes for all of indicators of the lights that is needed. We have, there is a USB port is there. So this is a common connection for a port. Port for peripheral devices. You can connect so many peripheral devices for this. All the type that is including mouse and the keyboard, any other devices also that you can be able to connect, joystick, mouse, keyboards. Okay. Then there's a model A has one, that model B has two. There are two models are there, and there's only one, and there is having two. So you can able to use the USB hub to extend the number of ports or plugs your mouse into your keyboard, or if it is required for the other USB ports also. Even you can use the USB port for memory it can be used. Then there is a HDMI port is there, where this is going to be the connection for hookup for a high definition television or other compatible devices using the HDMI cable that it can be connected. Then there is a power supply is there. This is a 5 volts micro USB power connection. this connector, into which you can plug your compatible power supply. Next is there is a SD card slot is there, so you can store that all operating systems and the memory for your many programs are there. You can store it over there. So this is a full-fledged SD card slot it is. So SD card, which an operating system it is going to be installed on that for the booting purpose that is going to be used. Then there are some available for purchases from the manufacturers, so that but you can also download an operating system to save it on the card itself. If you have Linux machine and if you have the Linux, you can able to make it. Okay. Then there is another port. It's called as Ethernet. So this connection allows for the wired network access and is also available for in the model B. Many of the features that are missing, such as Wi-Fi and the audio in, can be added using the USB ports. So you can use one USB port, you can use multiple USB ports, or USB hub you can use it. So you want to see these things the next, how the operating system is going to be installed and all these things. You can able to see all these things in the board itself. All these things are going to be present. The previous video, it has been clearly it is being shown that how these things are getting connected. Now let us see that how this Raspberry Pi is going to get installed in the system. So let us first go with the connection with the shell. So here Linux operating system is going to be used. So open the terminal on the Raspberry Pi by using the Ctrl-Alt-T and type if config. Okay. If you are connecting through Wi-Fi, then go under the WLAN section and look for your internet address. So this will be your local IP, something like 192.168.xxxxx. So here you can say 00001. It's going to start with that. So any that number that it is going to be your Wi-Fi link. So Wi-Fi IP it is. Then we can use this to connect via the shell using user is the Pi, password is the Raspberry. But we first have to enable the server, SSH server. To do this, type sudo Raspberry config. Sudo Raspberry config. Type it. Here we can do quite few things, but let us head into the option 5. There is interfacing options. I choose the second option for SSH and enable the server. Once this is done, so you can able to see the shell into the Raspberry Pi. So here you will be going to get a command window that it is getting installed, and we will be going to see that. So you can able to see those things in this particular screen. Next, to get access to the GUI, so you can have another set of commands to get access to the desktop instead of just a terminal. So let us first deal with the Raspberry Pi. We are going to install XRDP, the installation. Here sudo apt-get remove XRDP BNC4 server tight VN screen VNC server.